Well, we're standing right now in what I would call a pocket community in Calgary, right?
Indeed.
And I can tell you something, I've been doing this a long time. This little pocket, and you'll see this address right behind me, Bay Point. So we're in Bayside. And a lot of people don't even know where Bayside is.
Exactly.
Right along the Glenmore Reservoir.
Indeed.
And this is I will call it the pocket paradise of Calgary.
Biking paths, the yachting, the canoeing, all of that on the
Right.
on the reservoir, yeah.
I mean, when it comes to lifestyle, you just don't get better than this.
Yep.
I mean, it's got everything you want, the mature trees, close to downtown.
Glenmore Landing is literally right there for shopping.
Glenmore Landing is close to shopping. So this is a really, really hard community to get into.
Indeed.
If you ever want to own it here, not very many properties come up. And Pinnacle has had the good fortune of doing a big renovation in a property that we're about to go inside here. So you're going to want to watch this video because there's some really cool things in here. Now this is a pretty extensive renovation, right?
Indeed.
So not a lot of people do this high end of a reno, right? You're kind of on the high end side here.
Right.
But it just goes to show, it doesn't matter where you're at, if you are looking to do the $50,000 reno or the $1 million reno, you guys can do that.
And let's not forget, Rob, this is a Renovate or Relocate. It's the ultimate model. So these clients moved from Ontario, found the bungalow. It was a dog's breakfast. We came in to renovate, and everybody lives happily ever after. So the realtor gets a listing, the client gets a home that's perfect for their aging in place. We renovate, everybody lives happily ever after.
Yeah, and they were lucky enough to find this place.
They were.
So, all right, so let's head down to the property. You're gonna absolutely love what you see here. Now, keep in mind, it's not done yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you're not seeing the finished project yet. We will do another video when the finished project happens.
Yes, we will.
But you're gonna get the, what I'll call the pre-board.
Yeah, this is actually post-board now. This is millwork is going in. So
Okay.
the cabinetry is started and the casing and millwork. So yeah, we're farther along the path on this one.
All right, let's go. I'm dying to see it. All right, this is a massive condo. That's what
Indeed.
it is, right? Bungalow style condo. And I think when you first came in here, Paul, what did it look like?
It was vintage 1960s, so it was extremely dated, and walls were closed in, all these areas were compartmentalized. It was in bad need. It was vintage, absolutely nothing had been touched.
So walls everywhere.
Indeed.
Right, so a lot of engineering went on here.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, you had to have a real vision of what we could create here.
Yes, yes.
And you know, everyone's heard this mid-century modern, okay, but this is really what it is.
Sure is.
So there's so many little details in here that make it mid-century modern. We can't do them all in this video, but I'm going to highlight a few things that I just happened to notice. This beam, for example. Who doesn't love a beam? I mean, I always think of the beams when I used to watch, you know, the old movies and stuff of the 70s. They all had those beams, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I just love them when I come in here. Tying in that wood, it's incredible. This room, cedar in the ceiling, big vault, you know, big windows up here, fireplace floor to ceiling. That's all mid-century modern stuff, right?
It is, but it wasn't all there, right? So the fireplace is our vision.
Yeah.
The door is our vision. Larger, higher transom windows let the park-like feel in. And of course, opening this all up wasn't here. It was a little doorway into this space. So yeah, a lot of changes even on the main floor.
So when the people came here that were moving here from Ontario, you got to think about this. They walked in here and saw like a 60s dated, quite frankly, probably ugly looking, right? Yep. And they had to get the vision. So where does that come from?
Yeah, so I mean, they called us. Thankfully, we were referred by the neighbors next door. We had done another project, not at all alike the mid-century modern design. However, we were referred, which was great. But we just started with our design team. So our first step is to walk through the vision, what can be done. Of course, I'm kind of the main visionary in terms of what can be done structurally. So this whole open concept, that had to be discussed early on.
I know when I first met Paul, I used to go into these houses and I'd say, hey, Paul, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? He always said yes. And I thought, is that really true? But apparently, if you have enough money and enough time, right, you can do anything.
Kind of takes both, yes.
It kind of takes both, right. So, and I mean, this is a big project.
Yes.
So this is money and time right here.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Forever home. I mean, let's not forget, this client moved in from Ontario to find their perfect home. They're, I would say, aging gracefully, and they want this to be their forever home, and they found it with the vision of the renovation, of course, and the footprint and the location.
Now, from a realtor perspective, because I'm always about resale value, even though people look for their forever home, and obviously some people do stay right to the very end, but I have to tell you, I've listed and sold some forever homes too.
Yep.
So I always think about the resale value. A property like this, or it doesn't have to be this particular neighborhood, it could be any high quality neighborhood or high demand neighborhood in Calgary, you can spend money and get that money out.
Yes.
As long as you are in the right community. And that's something you really want to talk to someone like me about before you do a big rental like this.
100%.
Yeah, because you never know. I mean, these people probably will be here forever, but you never know. Sometimes life throws you a curveball and you still have to move.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Now, we're standing in the what is soon to be a finished kitchen.
Indeed.
And you know, and me, when I walk into these kitchens, Paul, like I always look at them and go, wow, that's amazing. I fall in love with them. But I have no idea what it takes to make this happen. Because, you know, going back from when you first walked in here and all this, you know, rooms and everything from the 60s, that goes back to the engineering. So what did you have to do to actually make this happen?
Good question, Rob. I mean, as I mentioned in the first clip of the video, there was a small doorway here that led to the great room. So the idea of opening and expanding the space and allowing the light to move room to room was so important to them. So we achieved that with this monster steel beam, but that was only one of the issues. Below this floor was another beam that had to be put in to support that beam. Then here was a bearing wall separating the former formal dining room, which will be the dining room, and the kitchen. So we had to remove this wall, which is bearing, tie it to this steel beam, which was bearing, and create what I call a T-intersection beam. It is quite the endeavor. But, as you said, time and money can solve most problems.
And then someone like me walks in and I go, wow, it's all open concept and it looks easy.
Yeah.
It does look easy.
It looks so beautiful now, right?
Because we see a lot of open concept houses in new construction,
Yes.
right? So, but I mean, it's incredible that you're able to make this happen. And of course, it now, to me, like when you look at the amount of natural light coming in here, when you look at the flow that goes into the living space, and the fact that you can have, you know, obviously you want to be able to entertain, big island in here. So I just love that you guys can make some of this stuff happen that probably the average person would first look at and go, I just don't see the vision.
Yeah, for sure. And we specialize in upscale projects, as you know, Rob, but we do all ranges. We'll do just a bathroom, but this is the stuff we specialize in, and it's the forever home narrative as well. So the combination of vision, structural reconfig, and that forever home narrative, that's what we specialize in for sure.
You know, mid-century modern, when you do a mid-century modern renovation, it's all about the details.
Yes, it is.
And I have been in a lot of homes that they actually call mid-century modern, but they don't do a lot of the extra details that I'm seeing here. Like, for example, look at this piece right here. I have to say, maybe it's kind of dating myself, but I remember something similar to this when I was young.
60s. Slat wall system, we call it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So was that the inspiration to do this mid-century modern, to bring some of this back?
Absolutely. This lady was very dialed into the mid-century modern design and wanted it replicated through her whole house. I can show you many indicators of that, but we'll kind of show a couple of predominant ones here today. That's the slat wall system, the floating staircase, the caps on this, the carpet inlay. The dowel system is fantastic. This screams mid-century modern. So this is all oak, shipped in from Quebec, custom order. What's cool is these two kind of pilasters, I'll call them, or pillars, will create the support. So as I walk over here, you can see what the finished product looks like. This column will have the same treatment. This one is about half done. We're just wrapping around the other side. The oak clad beam here, that beam there will be oak clad as well. So these two will anchor the space in a true mid-century modern style.
You know what? It's going to be amazing because when you're going to walk in here, you're going to notice all these little pieces of detail that bring you back in time. But then you get all the modern other amenities inside the property. Right?
Wait till you see this kitchen done. I just actually want to point out one more thing that's truly mid-century modern. Look at the width of these casings. What do you see, Rob, in all your listings? Big chunky casings, right?
Big chunky casings.
This is 1.5 inch oak, which screams 1960, which is exactly what this client wanted.
Absolutely love it. Now, coming into the primary bedroom, and this is where the modern comes in, right? Because when you come into this, first of all, look at the size of this closet. You don't do closets like this in the 60s.
No.
Okay, never.
6 feet long?
Right, skylight, but pot lights, the whole gamut. But going back to the forever home, because again, no one thought of doing a forever home 45, 50 years ago.
No.
Now, this is part of the forever home.
For sure.
Look
Let's
at this.
Speak to that.
Right?
And I mean, even the bench is part of forever home. So, you know, as we age, it's nice to be able to sit down, you're pulling on your socks and whatever. And so this is the dressing room as well as the closet. So that is the forever home component there, Rob, where the laundry's roughed in. So everything's roughed in. Right now, she thinks she wants it in the basement, but I don't think it's going to be long before it's going to move up here.
And you got the primary bedroom on the main floor, plus your laundry. That's thinking.
It's just gonna be so wonderful for the client. It really is.
These are the details when you're thinking about whether you stay in your current home or whether you go and find something and renovate and make it perfect. These are the details that so many people don't think of. It's a game changer.
And I'll speak to that, Rob, because this was by no means on their plate.
Right.
They wanted the laundry in the basement. We convinced and coaxed and really persuaded them to do this. I don't think they're gonna regret this down the road.
Yeah, well, thanks, Paul. Now they're never gonna move.
True. Sorry, Rob.
So you walk in here. This is the upper bedroom, and it's just this massive bedroom, and you're wondering what the heck to do with it.
Right.
So what did you guys do?
Yeah. So I mean, it was just so long. So it almost got lost in the footprint. So this was part of our design vision, and that was to create what we call an island bed. So there'll be a king size or queen size bed. We put this wall up. It's a headboard essentially. And behind it is the dressing room / closet. So you walk in, as you walk into this space behind the headboard, so to speak, and now you've got, you know, a little more reasonable footprint of your bedroom. If you walk in here, a little dark in here, but you can see all the closet pieces are about to go in, all custom cabinetry that we're putting in for them here.
Nobody would have come up with that, Paul. How did you guys come up with that?
Yeah, I can't take the credit for that, Rob. That's a team. That's teamwork makes the dream work, right? So our design team came up with that.
I absolutely love it. Like, this was a brilliant idea. It just really makes the room work so much better.
It does. And unique, right?
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest trends I'm actually seeing are the people who are living in suburbia, in these cookie cutter houses, right? With basically, when you're cooking in the Saturday afternoon, your neighbors can see what you're having. The fishbowl living, right?
Indeed.
And so there's a high demand now to come back to these neighborhoods with these beautiful mature trees. Look at this private backyard. No wonder these people wanted to be here.
Indeed.
And look what we're creating back here. So this is why there's such a trend to come back. But if you're going to come back to these neighborhoods, you're going to have to probably do some work inside the house.
Most cases, but like you said, every once in a while you find a house that doesn't need much of any work. But just if I could just segue into this one, so the deck is about to go on, so you can see the neighbor's deck and what we did over there. But we put this entire door system in. It's a 12-foot wide patio door, transom windows above, took a bay window out over where the other patio door is, and just cleaned the whole back up, more crisp, more 21st century. So that's, again, bringing natural light in, but it just really dressed up the exterior as well.
Yeah, because here, when it's all done, I can actually have a barbecue and nobody knows what I'm having for dinner.
There you go.
So it's a really private back here. This is why these type of properties in these older established neighborhoods, you want to use your backyard.
Yes.
Like, you want to spend time out here in the summer because it feels like you're in this oasis, miles away from the city.
100%. Well said, Rob. Anything else?
Well, if you're sitting again watching this video and you're at home and you're just kind of wondering what you should do, we're all about options. It's all just a conversation. This is why, give us your feedback. If you're watching this video, good, bad, or the ugly, give some feedback to us. It'd be great. If If you have questions, just reach out. You can text me, you can phone me. I actually pick up the phone, Paul picks up the phone, and we'll answer your questions. But it's really important though, have the conversation. It doesn't cost anything for that.
Nope.
And it's worth weighing out what the best options are for you. And you never know, we might be able to get into your forever home for you.
Absolutely.